You know, raha mtu anajipa nini mwenyewe. Good evening, it's your girl at Miss ThatGirlRelatable, founder and creator of this beautiful space. If you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I decided to do these kinds of videos because honestly, like, just prepping to shoot a video, do your makeup, all of that is kind of hard for me. It's like my pressure. So nataka tu tuongee when I am relaxed, when I am in my PJs, and we can just have a conversation, you know. So actually, at least niwapakie to lip balm. My favorite lip balm, by the way, so far, like hands down. This thing just fixes your entire life, man. Tastes so good. It's really good. It's white sweet wine. I got this book. It's called A Radical Awakening. I got it from NURIA.com. Yeah, is it NURIA.com or NURIA.co.ke? But NURIA, you'll find them on Instagram, their website, and all of that. This book, goodness, it's by A Radical Awakening by Dr. Shefali. Turn pain into power, embrace your truth. So in this video, I want to talk about how me as a woman, sometimes we deny our own experience, how the patriarchy has affected me as a person, and how that shows up in my life, because it shows up. Like, after reading this chapter, I was like, damn, Dr. Shefali, you call me out. And I journaled and I wrote some notes, you know. She talked about patriarchy, a system that was created by men, you know, and how it harms both men and women, because the system does affect everyone. It creates this issue of toxic masculinity and this issue of women never really living in their authenticity or living in their truth. The tactic has always been, at least for me, like, I know it's always been, how do I make every other person happy other than myself? How do I please this person? How do I please my dad? How do I please my mom? How do I live up to society's standards or society's expectations and cultural expectations? I'm 29 right now. One of the things that I thought would happen to me by then would have been I wouldn't move out on my own. I'd be waiting for someone to marry me, then move out. Only for me to realize, honey, maybe even this marriage is overrated. So, like, I just realized, you know, you don't need permission from anybody. You know, no one needs to come and pluck you from your mother's house and take you to their house and continue the domination. You know, no one, like, I literally had to tell myself that does not exist, girl. It's not a must. It's not a requirement. You don't have to live your life like that. You actually have to be the master of your own life and create the kind of experiences that you want to have on this planet. No shade on anyone who thinks like. So one of the questions that I answered that I wanted to just talk about is, what cultural conditioning or concepts do I consciously or do I subconsciously live by? So the first one that I noticed that I normally do, that is very subconscious to me, and it's very patriarchally led, like, it's very patriarchal, was when a man is speaking, I keep quiet, I listen, and I don't share my opinion, and I don't share my voice. And even when I'm uncomfortable, I don't say. Or even when I'm about to speak about my uncomfortability, it's super hard. You know, I realized that about myself. I don't know if the same for you. Like, we were taught that when your dad is speaking at home, you don't speak, you don't question, you don't ask questions, you don't say nothing. Even your mother doesn't do that, you know. So even for me as a woman, any spaces whereby there are other women and other men, I find it very hard to just share my opinion and my voice. And that just comes out, you know, like, that's a conditioning I have that I didn't know. And I was like, Dosila, you need to notice it, catch it, and move through the uncomfortability. The other one was, when a man says it, it's taken more seriously, so get a man to say it, you know. And I do this so many times, my goodness, even like at work. I'm like, okay, the only way that I'm gonna get this through, like, I normally notice, like, when a man says something, it's more final, it's taken more seriously, so I just use the next guy there. They tell him, semi. So napata, I use the man to advocate for me, because I know when he says it, it's gonna be taken seriously. And I'm like, that's a conditioning in me, and it's a conditioning in society as well. Like, when a guy says it, it's taken more seriously than when I say something, than when I communicate something about my well-being, about the benefits, the well-being of whatever organization that I am actually serving. And I was like, damn girl, you do that so many times, like it's in my subconscious. Yeah. Or I keep apologizing even when I'm not the one on the wrong, you know, even when I know this guy is the one that has made the mistake. Like, I am ready to take the blame, I'm ready to apologize, other than just standing in my truth and being like, you know what, it is what it is, honey. I ain't apologizing, I didn't do nothing wrong, honey. So I find it so hard to do that. I'm like, major L, Docilla, major L. Like, do most of the work and let him take the credit for it. Be quiet and do not mention a contribution. So most of the time unapata mimi kwa hiyo organization, I'm the one who does most of the work, I'm the one who pushes more, I'm the one who goes harder, and I let the man take the credit for it, you know. I don't mention that was actually me, Docilla, it wasn't him, you know, that was my accomplishment. And there's something within me that tells me, Docilla, that's being prideful. And I'm like, no, it's not being prideful, baby girl. Like, I have to catch myself every time and be like, you did it, you take the credit for it, and it's okay. It's okay to take credit for what truly you did and you accomplished. You know, like, it's not wrong at all. Men do it all the damn time. They even take more credit than the work or the effort that they put in. So why do I feel like when it is me, I can't just say, by the way, that was me, that was my idea, it was me. And not just saying it, but also owning it and standing up and sharing my ideas. For speak at business or work presentations. Like, for example, in Zapata, I've gotten this great deal for work or whatever organization that I'm serving, and it's my idea, but I end up calling the guy and asking him, but what do you think about this idea? Do you mind presenting it to the nini that we're going to? And I'm like, I feel like they would take you more seriously if you present it than if I would present it. And I feel like if it's a woman there, they would take you more seriously if you're the one presenting it than if it were me who was presenting. And I'm just like, baby girl, I feel it projected to me by society, and I also project it out as well, because I probably think I believe in myself, but there is society conditionings that I have that I need to break out of. And getting this awareness for me and even accepting it was such a big step, because, you know, like, it allows room for growth, even though at the same time it's very uncomfortable. For a woman, move out only when you have a man, or not feeling safe and secure just because you don't have a man. You know, because you don't have a man, you don't feel safe, you don't feel secure, you don't feel like you've achieved something, you don't feel like when women are speaking, you should also be speaking, you know, like such things. And those are societal things, societal standards, societal expectations that have been placed on women, and we internalize it as our own, and they don't make sense. These are things that do not make sense, because it means you're living outside of yourself, you're living in your ego, and you're not tapping into your true authentic self and living life by your own confident enough to work hard and believing that some of these things are accessible to me. Like, for example, having my own home, having my own piece of land, having my own car, working the jobs that I want to work. You feel like, if I had a man, let me wait for a man to buy a piece of land, let me wait for a man to start investing, let me wait for, you know, and securing your own future for yourself, because you are your own individual. There's that. So whether you have a man or you don't have a man, you should be thinking about investment, you should be thinking about growing your life, you should be thinking about generational wealth as well. Being fearful about desire, feeling fearful about sensuality and sexuality as well, feeling immodest for wanting sex, and feeling weird when you don't want it as well, as much as the person who is probably wants it, and not being able to communicate that. And I feel like, because of the conditioning, because of society and culture and the things I've been taught and the environments I've been around, I feel like I've tapped so much into it, such that I don't know myself sensually, I don't know myself sexually as well. And those are things that I'm just like, damn girl, damn, look at what society did to you, look at what it did, you know. And I just feel so sad sometimes, but then again, you know, identifying it and being able to deal with it is literally the feeling shy about talking about my sexual needs, my sensual needs, and just being able to communicate that, being able to say, I like that, I don't like that, stop doing that, do more of this. Communicating and advocating for yourself, it's still a struggle, it's still something that I feel uncomfortable when I'm doing. And those are just some of the things that I'm learning from the book, and also from just assessing myself. As women out there, do you feel like some of these things, do you relate to some of these things? And if you do relate to some of them, what steps are you taking to move to the other direction? For me, it's just about the thing that gets me scared the most, diving deep into that. The thing that makes me think I cannot do it, then I do it. The thing that makes me feel uncomfortable, then I say it. And the spaces that reduce me, the spaces that want me to fit a particular mold, the spaces that want to define me, or give me definition, I try to remove myself from those spaces so that I am able to give myself definition, to give my life meaning, to live life on my terms. Because honestly, if I'm gonna live this life, if I'm gonna be the one experiencing the consequences of life, then let it be on my terms, let it be based on my decision. There is no nobility in suppressing and abnegating your voice. I tell myself that there is no nobility by me playing small. There's no nobility by me not advocating for myself. There's no nobility for me suppressing my emotions. There's no nobility for me to try and fit everyone's mold or everyone's expectations. There's no nobility in that. The minute that I release myself from that, that's when I will get freedom. That's when I'll be able to live in my authentic self, in my truth, and to be truly happy and to be truly living in my essence. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. Talk to me. Are these some of the things that you experience? And if you don't, give me your tips. Let's meet in the next video. Bye.